Hello, my name is Kate, and in this video I want to talk about alcoholism and intimate partner violence, effects on children's psychosocial adjustment, and in the end of video I'll have said some tips for parents who have alcohol addiction.
It's widely recognized that alcoholism and relationship violence often have serious consequences for adults. However, children living with alcoholic parents are susceptible to the deleterious familial environments these caregivers frequently create. Intimate partner violence often has serious public health consequences. Intimate partner violence, or IPV, often results in acute injuries, for example, bruises, lacerations, broken bones and teeth, and may result in chronic illnesses and psychiatric conditions, for example, chronic pain and substance use. Results of investigations in a variety of settings provide evidence of a link between the occurrence of intimate partner violence episodes and substance use. In the National Crime Victimization Survey, 43% of victims of IPV reported the perpetrator had been under the influence of drugs. Children living with alcoholic parents are susceptible to the deleterious familial environments. They can have more likely to develop externalizing problems such as conduct disorder, oppositional defiant disorder, delinquency and attention defect disorder, and are at elevated risk for internalizing behaviors such as depression and anxiety. Although, in general, the literature supports an elevated risk for negative psychosocial development among children with a family history of alcoholism. Many children who live with an alcohol-abusing parents display normal psychosocial development. Chronic exposure to parental violence may also result in structural changes to a child's frontal temporal lobe, resulting in difficulty organization, thoughts, and problem solving. These changes in the brain chemistry may manifest themselves in terms of hypervigilant behaviors, for example, keenly aware of gestures and sounds as possible violence indicators. In addition to the harmful effects that IPV may have on children's emotional adjustment, exposure to IPV and the victimization that children experience from their exposure to IPV increase children's propensities to bullying, aggressive, violent, and delinquent behavior. According to social learning theory, problematic drinking and violent behavior are learned primarily through social interactions, which are passed down from one generation to the next. In particular, exposure to violence between parents may teach children that violence is an acceptable means of conflict resolution. Thus, an individual may have learned poor coping strategies, for example, drinking and violence, through modeling dysfunctional behavior exhibited in the family of origin.
What to do with it? Firstly, parents must undergo rehabilitation courses. These courses can help overcome alcohol addiction. Then parents must follow the advices to restore emotional relationships in the family. Parenting tip number 1: practice self-care.
Parents in recovery often feel a great deal of guilt and shame, particularly if their children have been exposed to their addictive behaviors, and overcompensate by setting aside their own needs. In order to preserve their sobriety and keep their families intact, it is critical for parents to take care of themselves and continue working their program of recovery. Learning new parenting skills is a process that unfolds over time. While it requires ongoing effort and awareness, perfection is not the ultimate goal. Just as there are no perfect children, there are no perfect parents.
Parenting tip number 2. Have fun as a family.
Families struggling with addiction typically don't know how to have fun as a family. As simple as it sounds, parents best serve their children by spending time with them having fun. You can roller skating, walking the dog, baking cookies together, and so on.
Parenting tip number 3. Build a sense of community.
Addicted families tend to be terribly isolated. Psychologists recommend building a sense of community by participating in athletic teams or taking classes at the community center.
Parenting tip number 4. Assume flexible family rules.
Alcoholic and addicted families have assumed rigid and dysfunctional family rules. One is sick, another is a caretaker, another is the superhero, and so on, and any deviation from those rules puts the whole family into a tailspin. In healthy families, each member plays a role, but those rules are flexible. For example, if the caretaker gets sick, others step in and care for them, and vice versa. People shift in and out of rules as the situation requires. Remember, it's never too late to change unhealthy relationship patterns.
Parents always have been and always will be the most important in their children's lives.